Big Red Rally. Welcome to Jean Fair Complex, Trinidad and Tobago. Welcome to the wrap-up of the 2019 local government campaign. You have Clarence Rambarat, Minister of Agriculture, Faris Al-Rawi, Attorney General, here with you to bring you live into our conversation as we talk about what the issues are on our campaign. Clarence.
Spectacular Saturday afternoon in Port of Spain. A festive atmosphere. People are still coming in. All the candidates are here. It's going to be a big afternoon, a big evening for the People's National Movement.
We just have been doing this consistently every year, bringing our people closer to issues, be it in the form of our rallies, in the form of our campaigns, local government in its cycle, 14 corporations on deck. It's a fierce competition. We have sincerely brought forward the issues to our country, how we intend to continue the fight against crime, how we manage the economy, the reporting to the people of Trinidad and Tobago. These have been the core aspects as we introduce the people that we bring on deck to ask Trinidad and Tobago to have a choice as to issue and personality. Clarence, I'm sure you've enjoyed the campaign. You've been all over Trinidad and Tobago. Give us some of your reflections in this journey to Jean Fair today.
Well, we had a great closing in Sangre Grande on Thursday. Sangre Grande has been a very intense, very lively campaign, a lot of young people, and we closed off. You spoke there, Attorney General, you were there, and it's been a good campaign, very long, very intense, lots of new people I've seen on the campaign trail. Interesting campaign, this 2019 local government campaign, and we're coming down to an end here that is spectacular, that would lead us into Monday, and the PNM is expecting to do very good on Monday.
Monday, it's all about Monday. Monday, December 2nd is your polling day. Elections are won on votes, not on thoughts. We've asked the citizens of our country to step forward into caring about issues. If you want to see local government reform birthed into reality, this election is about that. If you want to see the fight against crime continue, be it in the parliament, be it through 1,000 plus municipal police brought into existence by this government, the massive reduction in cost of construction, the billions of dollars that we have saved in rolling that money and redirecting it towards the citizens of this country, that is what is on Vote for Monday. So we are going to have a wonderful session this evening. We're going to be across that stage. We're going to be introducing our campaign, our team, our people. We have a very exciting run-up today. We have our crowd coming in. We've had election machinery all over Trinidad and Tobago. We're watching. Thank God. The God appears to be PNM apart from Trini, because the rains have managed to stay away from us. People are having an electric time. There's food, there's entertainment, but everybody's on the buzzwords. The buzzwords about getting it done.
Most importantly, I've been around the country in this campaign talking about getting the vote out, because a lot of times we have a lot of people at the meetings, a lot of people enjoy the time at the meeting, they listen to what we have to say. But come election day, sometimes we have a problem getting people out. And for this election, we want the young people to come out. They've been on the campaign trail, they've been supporting candidates, 139 candidates, many of them young people, some of them contesting for the first time. Many young women are in this campaign. We've seen the young people come out, but we're looking for them on Monday where it really matters. From 6 a.m. to 6 p.m., come out, cast your vote for your People's National Movement candidate. The PNM is heading to victory, and we want to make it an emphatic victory in 2019.
Speaking about young candidates, today we're going to hear from people like Teresa Lynch from San Fernando City Corporation. We're going to hear from Kerry-Ann Roberts Casmali, two very impressive young women that you're going to hear the command of the issues.
Start here in the PNM. Teresa Lynch comes from a well-established PNM family in Coquille. This is her second turn at the election. We expect her to do well. We have a newcomer, Ms. Casmali from Wallafield, in the Wallafield area. She also has grown in stature in the campaign. She was on the platform in one of the recent meetings. and we expect her to do well. We expect all our candidates to do very well in this campaign.
What about Rajkumar Bagalu, ladies and gentlemen?
Well, Bagalu, I spent my day yesterday with Bagalu. Of course, he took the platform by storm at AG. It's very difficult to upstage you. It's very difficult to leave you with nothing to say. But Rajkumar Bagalu basically left you and the Prime Minister with little to say. I said it was like a 7 p.m. newscast. He had local, international sports, culture. He knows this area.
You know what impresses me with a man like Mr. Bagalu? His antecedents, his service to country.
Very much a community man. I spent the day with him. I was all through Komoto Tamana yesterday. We have to emphasize, when you see this Komoto to Sangre Grande highway unfolding, and you see Komoto and you see what it will do, it's very important that somebody like Bagalu gets into the corporation.
But talk about his experience in the public service.
He's been 38 years a public servant. He was in the an audit role. He's a community person, a long stand, and the family has a long history in the Sanata Dharma Mahasabha. Community people. They have been principals of Hindu schools in the area. He's on every community group in his area. The village council, the sports council. He's been there. He's been in the corporation before. He was a United National Congress councillor from 2013 to 2016.
And he testified that he had his fill, that he could not take that culture anymore. And that's a very serious thing, you know, for somebody like that.
Well, we've had a few candidates like that. Ravi Lakan is also former councillor for Vegado, coach contestant in Sangre Grande for the People's National Movement this time around.
And it's important because it demonstrates the diversity of our party, the fact that our doors are wide open. You look at it. We have a commissioner of police as a past minister of national security for the UNC. We have Winston Gypsy Peters, the chairman of NP.
My former rival.
Your former rival. Yes. Pulling human service for country, yes. Showing that issues are more important than personalities.
And Gypsy has been on the campaign trail. He's been out in Mayaro in support of the candidate for Rio Claro South. He's been very active with the PNM on this local government campaign, and we expect to see a lot of him in the general election campaign that will follow.
Absolutely. Folks, we're soon to go across the stage as we begin the commencement of this rally stage side. We're going to just take you across, get some of that feeling from the different perspective. We'll be your co-hosts throughout this afternoon. Couple people jumping in and out. Our national anthem starts. Nothing more powerful in Trinidad and Tobago than to hear our national anthem sang in a sea of red. Our country's colors, red, black and white, indicative of our spirit.
Indicative of the crowd that we have here.
Very much so.
The crowd keeps growing. It's from all over the country. It keeps growing, and I expect close to the end we'll have people from all over the country here. We already have representatives from all 14 corporations that are contested in this election.
You know what interests me? It's the marriage of issues. We're talking, look at the fight against crime. We're talking about the support for the bail legislation. Why would Trinidad and Tobago be witnessing a commissioner of police literally beg the country's opposition, our opposition, to actually hand this, to get this issue done right? How can we watch large issues like this, not have them focused upon in the middle of an election campaign? We are in the middle of our prayers. We are paying respects to our Hindu community at this point. Trinidad and Tobago is a country of diversity, and we in the People's National Movement are very pleased to represent our all-inclusiveness as a party of inclusion. Ladies and gentlemen, while this is while this is going on, we note that we have structures in place. 63 years plus of political organization. Every election, every time, a fielding of a full slate. The management of local government reform in the national government cycle. All of these things are how you carry your country forward. We have been asking our country to recognize that whilst we have had some difficulty in terms of economic structure with the reduction in oil and gas revenue, we've done some very phenomenal things. Our diversity now stands such that 72% of our economic growth and our economic contribution actually comes from the non-oil and gas sector. That is a very significant move away from the period prior when we were about 50 to 51% at oil and gas. This means that we've managed to bring alive an economy, bringing it into contribution of our gross domestic product, of support for the people of Trinidad and Tobago. But in this campaign, in terms of recap of issues, I want to remind you, when the Prime Minister speaks about saving $400 million at the construction of the Red House, saving $300 million in the construction of the QREP interchange, these hundreds of millions of dollars have been returned to the support for education, for medicine, for healthcare, for the payment of salaries. You may not know this, Trinidad and Tobago, but it costs our country $3 billion a month to pay our salaries. And that is how we have managed to continue in the public service support to make sure that people held on to their jobs. Yes, there have been some changes, but changes for the better. We look at the return of the Petrotrin, the growth of the patriotic industry. We saw $2 billion saved there, but we saw approximately $500 to $700 million earned. And these have formed part of the issues in our local government campaign, because continuing the charge of local government really requires funding. And funding is the key to ensuring our lots are cleaned, our representation is solid, our schools are repaired during the vacation time, our maxi-taxi drivers find the encouragement and support. So there's been a marriage of national issue together with local issue, and the candidates on deck, 138 plus candidates looking at their support, is really what it's all about. It is no easy thing to run in every competition the way you do and keeping it clean. We've had a wonderful campaign so far. Our issues have been properly managed. And we ask you, on the day of contest on Monday, what are you going to stand for? Do you stand for what our political opponents say, which can be reduced in really quite simply the term that Mrs. Prasad-Bissessar uses, who the hell cares? Where you cannot discern the policies coming from them. You cannot understand their failure to support crime fighting in this country, their failure to support Commissioner Griffith, their failure to explain themselves to say that it's okay when they are in government to have dedicated laws to restrict bail, for instance. One shot and you're out under the anti-gang law. But whilst in opposition, lacking in support for foreign tax disclosure, income tax disclosure, anti-gang legislation, bail legislation, anti-terrorism legislation, the removal of child marriage. These are large issues for Trinidad and Tobago. It matters not what color you wear, red, yellow, white, blue or green. It matters what the effect is to each and every one of us as citizens in our country. Tonight on stage, this evening on stage, you're going to have some of this reflection come home. But really and truly, this is a local government election of the type that we've not seen before. We looked at Sangre Grande's meeting the other night, and I can tell you, Trinidad and Tobago, in my near 10 years in frontline politics for the PNM, I've never seen a local government election crowd as large as that. I've never seen thousands of people turn out organically from the area in which the meeting happens, without buses on the outside, to literally come in and evidence their support for country by support for party. So we are certain that today is going to be a wonderful day. We have several speakers that are going to come to introduce. My co-host Clarence Rambarat has shifted across the stage side to do introduction of candidates for corporations. We're going to hear from our vice chairman of the party, Mr. Robert Lehunt. We're going to hear from Senator Rohan Sinanan. We're going to hear his introduction of candidates and corporations. We have Foster Cummings introducing candidates as well. We have the chairman of the party, Mr. Colum Imbert, the Minister of Finance. And of course, we have the political leader, Dr. Rowley. Interspliced in this arrangement, we have several of our local government candidates that are going to be speaking to us this afternoon. We have certainly the might of the young ladies, Teresa Lynch. We have Kerry Ann Roberts-Casmally. And of course, you're going to hear from one of the liveliest candidates I've ever heard from, Mr. Rajkumar Bagalu. Certainly, I did not know that Mr. Bagalu had the penchant for dancing the way he does. But you're going to enjoy this afternoon's session. It's all about reflecting on the close of our campaign. We know our political opponents do not have a rally. This is the first time in 25 years that they have not had a political rally. In many senses, it seems as if they've been absent from the battlefield, but this is a battlefield. This is a political battlefield. We fight our wars in the parliament. They don't turn up. We fight our wars on the election campaign. They don't turn up. But that is not to say that the vote on the conscious mind is not part of it. What we have to do is to manage ourselves into Trinidad and Tobago's development. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a few surprise ventures this afternoon. We have entertainment that's coming at us. The entertainment is awesome. There's nothing better than a crowd moved by music and moved by encouragement. It is quite an interesting phenomenon. We are very interested in getting some of the stage side introductions. We're not quite going to get there in a hurry. We're going to make sure that we're going to make sure that we actually get a few things going. While I have your attention as stage side is building, permit me to raise a few more issues with you. I ask you, ladies and gentlemen, is the decriminalization of marijuana important to you? Not from the use of the drug, but for the fact that we will remove 9,000 cases a year from the magistrate's court. This is talking, getting it done. Justice can't be delivered. We're ready to toss you stage side. We're ready to get some of that action and perspective. We're going to hit over to our stage. I'll catch you on the other end of the equation. See you later.
Through our pride, and I see the passion in our eyes. It's our culture that could never be replaced. No, all of the colors in the sky, keep them flying, keep them high, is a piece of history from all creeds and races. So, I want to go where the music lives, and only so got to feel like this. It's like a throw all my stress away. And it's there I want to stay with you, and only you. Right there I want to stay with you, and only you. Right there I want to stay with you, and only you. Right there I want to stay with you, stay with you. So I'm on my way, 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 on my way right now, on my way, 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 on my way right now, on my way, 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 on my way to you. It's the way the drums just talk to me. I feel like it's the strongest connection, or maybe the way the music does play. I will follow it in any direction. I was born in the perfect place. It's way more than natural selection. So anywhere soca music is, I will be me feel like this. This I could throw all my stress away. And it's there I want to stay with you, and only you. Right there I want to stay with you, and only you. Right there I want to stay with you, and only you. Right there I want to stay with you, stay with you. So I'm on my way, on my way, on my way, my way, on my way, on my way right now, on my way, on my way, on my way, my way, on my way, on my way right now, my way, on my way, on my way, my way, on my way, on my way, my way, on my way, on my way, on my way, on my way to you, on my way to you, on my way to you, on my way, on my way, on my way to you. So I'm on.
Make some noise for the Amritam Shakti National Dance Academy. So we're going to continue the entertainment. Are you all ready? No stranger to the PNM stage because PNM coming. Welcome, Delamo.
This is PNM country. PNM time. Ready and ready. Hey, watch me. Hey, watch me. Hey. People of TNT, we go follow Rowley. Keep Rowley, go lead with the victory. PNM warriors, with your bodies in hand. We take it back, we country. We take it back, we land. Tell them we coming, we coming, we coming, we coming, we coming. Everybody get on board with Franklin Farris and Ashton Ford. Coming on in Imbert and Dunbox. Joe Newt, Penny and Hands with the dreadlocks. We coming, we coming, we coming, we coming, we coming. PNM. 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 Too much thief and corruption and too much bubble. She feel she could run this country only on alcohol. Flam here, flam she dead, dead flying in helicopter while they empty the treasury and we poor people suffer. Tell them we coming, we coming, we coming, we coming, we coming. Warn them, go on the Atlantic coast. We coming to bust the truck. He go have one big regret. Close to 54, we will forget. No. We coming, we coming, we coming, we coming. Now remember, everything is consolidated on the day of election. Go out and vote. Go out and vote. Don't take it for granted. In 2010, they run with victory. But the element dead, they just get we more angry. With a new constitution, we energize the body. No stopping, we coming like the energizer. But tell them we coming, we coming, we coming, we coming, we coming. Oh God, we come back to hand to Jack and Anil the Joker in the park. Tim Gopi sing, play the fool. He can't even fix his cool. He got Martin Lord. legacy that Eric Williams leave. So for the children and their children, we cannot fail. Great is the PNM, and we shall prevail. We coming, we coming, we coming. This is PNM generation next. We go beat them with the X. In Tobago, they have no chance. We for London, we go to France. We coming, we coming, we coming, we coming, we coming. Yeah. I show a force. They must trend. And they can't get you red. They must trend. Blessed. Go out and forth. Get everybody up. Landing in their panties. Beat them with this. Beat them with this. On them. We will drown them in a sea of red. We coming. We coming. Thank you very much. Go out and forth. Go out and forth. Go out and forth. Amen. Amen. PNM. Great is the PNM, and we shall prevail.
Make some noise, GPA Complex for the Lambo. We coming, we coming, we coming, we coming.
Big Red Raleigh, all you coming? I want you to make some noise for the Minister of Agriculture, Land and Fisheries, the next Member of Parliament for the constituency of Chaguanas East, Jinpei Complex. Make some noise for Senator, the Honorable Clarence Rambaran.
And I see the light at the end of the rainbow. And I see the bright blue skies. Tomorrow has come.
Trinidad and Tobago, the PNM is getting the job done. I come from the beautiful constituency of Chaguanas East, and it is my pleasure to introduce to you this afternoon a young lady from the area of Caparo Mamoral, beautiful agricultural district. Her name is Raquel Bisoun. She's a candidate in the local government election on Monday, and she is coming to talk to you a little bit about the Couva Tabaki Talparo Regional Corporation. I want you to welcome from Caparo Mamoral, Raquel Bisoun.
For the children, yeah. We're getting it done in the fires of hope.
PNM people! Couva Tabaki Talparo Regional Corporation. Good afternoon. We getting it done. When I was a young girl, I wanted to do something of value for my country. So I stand here today, honored, proud, and humble to be chosen as the candidate for Caparo Mamoral under the People's National Movement. I am one of the youngest candidates. Let it be known that my presence here today is possible because of the great leadership of our Prime Minister, the Honorable Dr. Keith Christopher Rowley, and the value he has for the youths of our nation, and the PNM policies that seek to ensure and provide for every citizen of our beloved country. What makes this country great is not that we have the greatest show on earth, Carnival, or the greatest music, soca. It is the love we share during times of adversity that makes us great. As we all would know, the PNM campaigned heavily on local government reform in 2015. And because of the commitment, dedication, and determination by our PNM leaders, local government reform will happen. Of course, the process was stalled by the UNC. That is what they do. They hinder progress. But the PNM leadership and the love for country is making it possible, ladies and gentlemen. The kind of leadership you will get from the 139 candidates chosen in the presence of the country's Prime Minister. Your 139 candidates will represent you with hard work, grace, and kindness. We will provide quality service combined with humility, efficiency, and competence to ensure you, our burgesses, are provided with the type of service you have been longing for. We are going to win this local government elections. I look at my colleagues, the way we interact, and I am reminding of the basic principle: I am my brother's keeper and my sister's keeper, that is alive and well remembered within this political party. It is this political party that gives the youths of the country hope. And it is clear, look at how many young men and women are contesting seats. Some of them I would know of. Some of them I would have had conversations with. But one thing that's common is we value education. And we know that in this country, right here in Trinidad and Tobago, you can obtain free tertiary education. And that is because of this political party, because our leaders know that the youths are the future. The future of the youths is in the school bag of our children. And this is what drew me to this political party. It is because it is the only party that is securing a clear vision for the youths. And it is my duty to ensure that the future generations to come has a future. Kuparo Mamral falls under the Couva Tabaki Talpara Regional Corporation, a UNC-RAN corporation. And I want everyone to know today that change will not come from CTTRC. Change is going to CTTRC with our PNM candidates. On December the 2nd, we're bringing home CTTRC. We're bringing home Grandi. We will bring home Arima, Port of Spain coming home. We will bring home Chaguanas. We're bringing home North, South, East, West, and our brothers and sisters in Tobago will come home too. So I urge all of you to go to the polls on December the 2nd. Take as many people as possible and vote for progress. Vote for good governance. Vote for change. Vote for the People's National Movement. Because the PNM is getting it done. May God bless us as we say in one accord. Great is the PNM. Great is the PNM. Great is the PNM. And we shall prevail.
We getting it done. A new country we building. This country first we choosing. And every day we proving. We getting it done. They only mama guy and we don't know there was teeth in
Trinidad and Tobago, I now present to you the 14 candidates to the People's National Movement for the Couva Tabaki Talparo Corporation. For Claxton Bay, Pointe-a-Pierre, Aaron Mohammed.
Well, let me tell you something. Forward this how we moving, so never stop believing. We getting it done. A new country we building.
For Caparo Mamaral, Raquel Bisoun.
They only mama guy and we don't know there was.
For Piparo San Pedro Tabakit, Quincy Stewart.
And then we voting, we doing it right. We doing it right.
For Longdenville Talparo, Georgia Ali Bay.
Team Rowley, we're building legacy. So when you're voting, know that you're building.
A young man who has been campaigning hard across his electoral district. For Caratal Tortuga, Sean Williams.
Spaces. So when you're voting, know that you're building a strong foundation.
For Kali Bay, Calcutta number 3, McBean, Shazad Khan.
And the change has begun. Yes, we're moving. Yes, we're moving. Here we come.
For Gasparillo Bonaventure, Petra Charles.
Your one thing is big, my thing we doing. The right thing that we choosing.
Bringing home California Point Lisas on her second attempt. I want you to welcome Dina Turton.
We choosing. Bread is how we rolling. PNM we voting. We doing it right. We getting it done.
From Perseverance Waterloo, Nanda Bowler.
Hope and pray. Together as one. There is no road.
Coming from Freeport, Chickland, Sophia Bartholomew Bassett.
4:40 p.m. I see the bright blue skies.
From the former Sugar Belt, Brecon Castle Esperanza, Denise Burkett Paquette.
Yes, we're moving. Yes, we're moving. Here we come.
From the agriculture area of Las Lomas, San Rafael, Dinah Rupnarain.
We getting it done.
And our 2 candidates remaining, to St. Mary's, Calcifield, Carrie Edwards, and for Balmain, Calcutta, number 2, Karen Williams. And those 2 candidates are still on their way. And here's Carrie Edwards for St. Mary's, Calcifield.
We getting it done.
And Trinidad and Tobago, I now want to take the opportunity to go to the Eastern Seaboard. To go to the Eastern Seaboard and bring for you some of the candidates for the Mayaro Rio Claro Regional Corporation. And I want to tell you that the traffic on the way into Port of Spain and outside Jean-Pierre Complex has been piled up. A few of our Mayaro Rio Claro candidates are not with us as yet. Mayaro is far, and they're getting hit here. They're going to get here, just like the PNM gets it done. I want to introduce to you, for the area of Ecclesville, in the Mayaro Regional Corporation, Rabindranath Duki.
And I see the light at the end of the rainbow.
I want to introduce for Mayaro Guayaguayari, Wendell Perez.
Tomorrow has come and the change has begun.
And our other 4 candidates for Mayaro Rio Claro Regional Corporation who are on their way are Rio Claro South Catskill, Mervyn Rodriguez.
We moving, so never stop believing.
Rio Claro North, Rio Claro North, Richard Rivers.
And every day we proving.
Bish Charuma Asif Ali, and Kokal Mafikin, the veteran Fitzroy Ali. Otley, Trinidad and Tobago, GTS Sports Complex. I present to you our candidates for the Cuba Tabaquita Alparo Regional Corporation and the Mayaro Rio Claro Regional Corporation. They're gonna win, and win big. Monday, December 2nd, 2019, as the PNM takes it home.
Monty Gladiator, what another radiator, representing Charlie Creator. Whoa, whoa, everybody sing it out, everybody sing it out. Everybody put your hands in the air now. Everybody push it up, everybody push it up. You who love the reggae, and that's again nice and day. But the people in the country don't want it to. That's how we are no Jamaican. You with the land that I saw one pan. Sing the music of the nation. After they go. They want to wine and they want to grind with the woman in front and man behind. If I'm not doing that, everybody put your hands in the air now. Everybody get down on this soca. Get down on it. Hey, see me, I'm getting down on this soca train. On this soca train. Tell them already, go tell them again, everybody. Come on. The train is coming. Whoa, the train is coming down. On the train I meet about friend who know them on the way back when. Happy to see this once again. But some must be very careful of the bad mind and trustful. Cause you know you will capable. After they go. Just none of them are tell me your friend. Then I pretend, look over them. They want to put you inside the lie. Everybody, go and fight in your body. Sit down. Fight in your body to that way. Yeah. No more love in your body to that way. Everybody in the air, in the air, in the air. Tell your mother, your mother, your mother. Pray. Tell your mother, your mother, your mother. Tell your mother, your mother, your mother. Pray. Tell your father, your father. Everybody put your right hand in the air. Put up something. Lower something. Brand new. Let me see the two hands in the air right now. Let me see them up. 1, 2, 3. Something happened when the bacchanal called. Something happened when the bacchanal called. I just want to carry on. I just want to come down. Something happened when the bacchanal called. Right when it's carnival. Right when it's carnival. Weakness to carnival. Sweetness to carnival. Something happened when the bacchanal. Everybody! 1, 2, 3. Back to the front. Start it again! How many stands? From here! 1, 2. Are you ready? Let me go. Something happened when the bacchanal called. Something happened when the bacchanal called. I just want to carry on. I just want to go down. Something happened when the bacchanal called. Right when it's business. We know business, so we know business. We know business, so we know business. We know business, so we know business. All the water. I'll tell you the painting. From the top to the front, all you do what you want. That's all the man wants to. 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 What? That's all the man wants to. All you do. All you do. Put your ring down in the air. Throw it up. Throw it up. When the sun like the road. When the sun like the road. We don't like the road. We don't like the road. We champion, champion. Just hold them and watch it. 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 Just hold them and watch it. What you do? Ladies and gentlemen, the one and only MX Prime. Love you. Red, white, and black. Don't turn them back.
Can I hear? Can somebody say great is the PNM? Make some noise for Maximus Dan. You just saw the candidates for the Cuba Tabaquita Power Regional Corporation as well as the Mayara Regional Corporation. Make some noise. Please help me welcome to the stage Minister of Public Utilities, Senator, the Honorable Robert Lee Hunt.
Good evening, PNM people. Yeah, are you ready? All right, it is my distinct pleasure this evening to welcome on stage your next speaker, a dynamic young man who hails from the same village as I do, Faizabad. People from Faizabad, say yeah. A sitting councillor and a graduate of the University of the West Indies, a fantastic young man, a dynamic young man, an enthusiastic young man. Welcome on stage your next speaker, Mr. Maurice Alexander.
Together as one, there is no load we cannot bear. And I see the light at the end.
If you are from the People's National Movement, ladies and gentlemen, you need to make some noise in this place. You need to turn this place upside down. I find that you're too conservative. I find that you're too pious. Make some noise and shake this place. Let the world know that great is the PNM. Great is the PNM. Great is the PNM.
So we moving, so never stop believing.
I want to share two things with you very quickly. To you young people, particularly in this election, throughout the lengths and breadths of this community, I want to say to you that we make up something like 20 to 30% of the present, but we make up 100% of the future, young people. And I trust that on Monday, the 2nd of December, you go out there resoundingly, putting your X for the Balisay for every candidate in the local government election, not taking any chances with your future, and voting for the People's National Movement. The second thing I want to say to you this evening is that the significance of the number 9. Understand the significance of the number 9, friends. 9 signifies the fulfillment and the completion. And the People's National Movement, its theme for 2019, we're getting it done. That's completion. That's fulfillment. The other thing about the number 9 is it deals with wisdom and leadership. And you who are involved in the PNM need to be proud because we have a leader, our flag bearer, Dr. the Honorable Keith Christopher Rowley, a man of wisdom and a man of leadership. But more importantly, the number 9, come Monday the 2nd of December, would signify, friends, and those of you who belong to the municipality of Siparia would be glad after the elections on Monday, come Monday the 2nd of December, that we will join the 8 corporations of the PNM, making it 9, winning the seats in the regional corporation. And when we would have done that on Monday, we would all say, if you hail from Sandy Grande, if you hail in Cuba, if you hail in San Fernando, most importantly, if you come from Siparia, we're going to say that great is the PNM, great is the PNM, great is the PNM, and we have and shall prevail.
But we choosing and every day we proving. We getting it done. They only mama guy and we don't know there was TV. country, good for party. Team Rowley, we're building legacy.
What did I tell you?
Know that you're building a strong foundation for this great.
Let's do it one more time for a passionate young man, our flag bearer in one of the critical areas, Mr. Maurice Alexander.
Tomorrow has come and the change has begun. Yes, we're moving. Yes, we're moving. Here we come. Hey, getting it done. So let me tell you one thing. It's big man thing we doing. The right thing that we choosing. We getting it done. Society we sharing.
Okay, PNM people. I'm going to introduce to you the set of winning councillors in one of our strongholds, the Point Forte Borough Corporation. People from Point Forte say yeah, yeah. And with that, let's welcome on board for the electoral district of New Village, Mr. Leslie Pascal.
Ready, so we rolling. It's PNM, we voting. We doing it right. We doing it right. We getting it done. Good for country, good for party. Team Rowley, we're building legacy. So when you're voting, know that you're building a strong foundation.
For Egypt, Mr. Kwesi Thomas.
Of many races, different faces in many spaces. So when you're voting, know that you're building a strong.
For Newlands Mahaika, Mr. Reynold Carrington.
And the change has begun. Yes, we're moving. Yes, we're moving. Here we come.
For Hollywood, Mr. Kennedy Richards.
Doing the right thing that we choosing. We getting it done. Society we shaking. Big up what's our way the welding. It's up and up we going.
For Capsiville, Fanny Village, Brianna Fortune John.
Country that we choosing. Bread is how we rolling. PNM we voting. We doing it right. We getting it done. We getting it.
For TJ Guapo, Mr. Lyndon Harris.
Together as one, there is no load we cannot bear. And I see the light.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Round of applause for the borough of Point Forte. We're moving swiftly along for the Princess Song Regional Corporation and for the electoral district of Lengo Indian Walk, Mr. Hanif Salamat.
So never stop believing. We getting it done. A new country we building. This country first we choosing. And every day we proving.
For Hindustan St. Mary's, Joel Hamilton.
It's PNM we voting. We doing it right. We doing it right. We getting it done. Good for country.
For Current Cedar Hill, Wendy Lee Park Gibbs.
Know that you're building a strong foundation for this great nation. This is a nation.
In Venice, Princestown South, Roger Haku.
When you're voting, know that you're building a strong foundation for this great nation. Tomorrow has come.
For Moruga, Steve Rudal.
Yes, we're moving. Here we come. Hey, getting it done. So let me tell you one thing.
For Fifth Company, Nadir Hussein.
Society we shaking. Big up what's our way the welding. It's up and up we going.
For New Grant, Tableland, the one, the only, Martina LeBon Leger.
Bread is how we rolling. PNM we voting. We doing it right. We getting it done. We getting it done.
For Reform and Hambry, Clarence Lalal.
Together as one, there is no load we cannot bear.
St. Julian Princestown, Wendell Neptune.
Of the rainbow, 440 PNM, I see the bright blue skies.
For Ben Lamont, Hard Bargain, Williamsville, Marlon Jackram.
Yes, we're moving. Here we
people, let's give a round of applause for the candidates, your flag bearers, for the Princetown Regional Corporation.
We getting it done. Hey, hey, for the PNM. Hey, hey, we getting it done. Hey, hey, for the PNM. Hey, hey, we getting it done.
Moving along to the Superior Regional Corporation, where the air is rare. I want to welcome with a big round of applause for the electoral district of Erin, Miss Eileen Ramdale.
Tell you something, forward this how we moving, so never stop believing. We getting it done. A new country we building, this country first we choosing, and every day we proving.
For Brighton, Bethany, Mr. Gerard Bum Debbie Seth.
It's PNM, we voted, we doing it right, we doing it right, we getting it done. Good for country, good for party.
For Superior West Faizabad, the one and only Mr. Maurice Alexander.
This great nation, this is a nation of many races, different faces in many spaces. So when you vote
for the electoral district of Palo Seco, Miss Dana O'Neill Gervais.
And the change has begun. Yes, we're moving. Yes, we're moving. Here we come.
For Mondesi, we have Mr. Alan Pierre.
Big man thing we doing, the right thing that we choosing. We getting it done. Society we shaking. Big up what's our way.
For Advocate San Francisco North, Miss Nikita Richards.
We beat them, this country that we choosing. Bread is how we rolling. PNM we voted. We doing it right. We getting it done. We getting it done. In the fires of hope and
for the area of Otahiti Roselac, the one, the only, Mr. Anand Maharaj.
The light at the end of the rainbow. Vote for the PNM. See the bright blue sky.
And for Cedras, we have Mr. Rashid Mohammed.
Change has begun. Yes, we're moving. Yes, we're moving. Here we come.
PNM people, these are your fighters. These are your flag bearers who will be carrying your torch for Point Forte, Princetown, and Superior Regional Corporation. Let's welcome them. Let's show them love. These are the people who are going to bring it home for the People's National Movement come December the 2nd.
Ricardo Drew.
It's true. What we trying? I got you. Cause you my friend. Oh Lord, I love my friend. When my real friend. I'm glad I'm you in my life. Cause you my friend. I love my friend. I say friend, my real friend. Oh Lord, cause when we link up is back front to the back. Just throw your back out. It's something. Low. Everybody put your hands in the air. Everybody put your hands in the air. And shout out your party. Shout out your party. 1, we gonna take a jumper. 2, everybody take a jumper. 1, 2, jump. I got you. Cause you my friend. Hold on. Come up here right now. I'm glad I'm you in my life. Cause you my friend. I love my friend. My real friend. This round for me is the friendship we celebrate. So let the good times last. Let we knock our glass. Cheers to family. I got you. Your drama, your habit is my habit. Nobody can violate my friend, even if you're wrong. And I know that you're doing it. I'm supporting you. Everybody, but I got you. Cause you're my friend. I love my friend. When you're ready, hey. Are you ready to go home? Are you ready to go home? Well, put your hands in the Turn it up. Say, I tell you the way that I jam in the Haven. They calling me a hooligan, a hooligan. The way that I wine on every gun. They calling me a vagabond, a vagabond, a vagabond. Boy, I don't even pick up my shoes yet. I don't even roll on that wrong yet. I don't even wine on that yet. And they call it. I don't even drink out half a liter. I don't even push on nobody. Raise your hands in the air. Sing, everybody. We are on mission on the road, not take the car. Where vagabonds is priority to match on the party. Those vagabonds nasty, and we going on day long. I'm a friend of the world, I got jam in the Milan. They calling me a hooligan, a hooligan. My name is Ricardo Drew. Somebody free. A vagabond, a vagabond.
Let's hear it one more time for Ricardo Drew, GPA Complex. And let's hear it for the Point Fortin Borough Corporation, the Princestown Regional Corporation, and the Superior Regional Corporation. We're getting it done.
Anybody here from Aruka? Do we have any ladies in the house? Hello, Miss Donovan. Chilpay Complex, Big Red Rally. She is the Lady Vice Chairman of the People's National Movement, the Minister of Planning and Development, the Member of Parliament for the constituency of Aruka Maloney. PNM people, please welcome the Honorable Camille Robinson Regis.
Skies. Tomorrow has come and the change has begun. Yes, we're moving. Yes, we're moving. Here we come. Hey. Getting it done.
PNM Massive, you ready to get it done on December 2nd? Two corporations that will get it done are San Fernando City Corporation and Pinal de Bay Regional Corporation. I ask you to welcome Teresa Lynch. She will speak on behalf of the candidates. Teresa Lynch, our standard bearer for Coquier Taruba.
But we choosing and every day we proving. We getting it done. They only mama guy and we don't know they was thieving. They cannot tell we nothing. Ready so we rolling.
Dr. the Honorable Keith Christopher Rowley, political leader of the People's National Movement, Excellencies, distinguished guests, senators, honorable ministers, good afternoon! It's my honor to stand in front of you here today. Where are my San Fernando people? You know when you go down Sando, you had to get them the tempo. Trust me, the tempo's sweet. It's sweet because we can boast that we are getting the job done. We're the Grandy people. Narendra Modi once said, good governance with good intentions is the hallmark of our government. Implementation with integrity is our core passion. This is the true PNM way. Over the years, the PNM has done what the others have failed to do. It is the PNM that has steadied the boat through rough waters. We have represented the citizens in an accountable and transparent manner. In the words of the great Dr. Eric Williams, the alternative to the PNM is chaos and confusion. The PNM is the past. The PNM is the present. Stand together with the PNM and secure your future. I was privileged enough to have represented the citizens of the electoral district of Coquier Taruba. And I stand with confidence that the political party headed by the Dr. the Honorable Keith Christopher Rowley is getting the job done. He got the job
and gentlemen, we can continue. San Fernando Center for Displaced Persons. Done. Highway from San Fernando to Point Fortin. Done. Famous leaders such as the great Eric Williams took us from colonialism and brought us to independence. Famous leaders such as George Chambers stabilized us in difficult economic times. Famous leaders such as the late, great, Honorable Patrick Augustus Mervyn Manning. He amplified education, progressed our economy socially and economically, innovated and improved infrastructure, and gave us a vision for the future. Famous leaders as Dr. the Honorable Keith Christopher Rowley, who came with a machete and lead us out of bondage. He took the mantle and delivered in a transparent manner, without fear, malice, or ill will. He steadied the ship we thought was lost and continued to work tirelessly and meticulously to mold our country toward better. Ladies and gentlemen, the things that these famous leaders have in common is love for country, service to the people, a true patriot. As we continue to get the job done through the strong, intelligent, skillful leadership, Dr. Diana Christopher Rowley, let us not be misled. Let us not be distracted. The PNM stand firm on the pillars of love, positivity, and progression. We have and will always seek your best interests. The PNM does not believe in division, despite color, creed, race, personal choice. We are a reflection of you, united as one, march towards in a common effort to improve the red, white, and black. Come December, Red Army, we here in red today. We're going to church in red tomorrow. We're going to work in red Monday. And come December the 2nd, get up early, say your prayers, head out to the polls, cast your votes. And ladies and gentlemen, the eve of Monday, we will all say, great is the PNM, great is the PNM, great is the PNM, and we shall prevail.
Getting it done. Well, let me tell you something. Forward is how we moving, so never stop believing. We getting it done. A new country we building. This country first we choosing, and every day we proving. We getting it done. The only mama dying.
An obvious winner, ladies and gentlemen. Political leader, members of the leadership of the PNM, members of the Cabinet and House of Representatives and Senate, ladies and gentlemen of the only true political party, the People's National Movement, I present to you your standard bearers for the San Fernando City Corporation. Nigam Joseph for Springvale Paradise.
Think forward is how we moving, so never stop believing. We getting it done. A new country we building. This country first we choosing.
Aliyah Bash for Lazy for West La Romaine.
We don't know they was thieving. They cannot tell we nothing. Red is how we rolling. It's PNM.
Robert Paris for Pleasantville.
We getting it done. One good for country, good for party. Team
Arnold Sugrim, Marabella East.
Know that you're building a strong foundation for this great nation.
Michael Johnson, Marabella West.
Spaces in many spaces. So when you're voting, know that you're building a strong foundation.
Marabella South Vista Bella, Philip Montano.
And the change has begun. Yes, we're moving. Yes, we're moving. Here we come.
Laissez for East Pero, Rian Jose.
The right thing that we're choosing. We getting it done. Society we shaking. Because what's the way the welding.
Teresa Lynch for Kokie Taruba.
Serving lies is what they're spreading. Every time we beat them, this country that we choosing. Bread is how we rolling.
And for Monrepo Navet, Nigel Coutier.
We getting it done in the fires of hope and prayer.
These Fernando City Corporation, for Pinal de Bay Regional Corporation, I present to you Cindy Dorridge for Laramie.
Tomorrow is gone, and the change has begun.
Suruj Banarsi for Roshan Barrackpore East.
We getting it done.
Your standard bearer for Debe East L'Esperance Union Hall, Alpha Holder.
We getting it done.
Your councillor in waiting for La Fortune Debe North, Judy Suktio.
Done. We getting it done.
Sunil Suchet will be your representative for Pinal.
We moving, so never stop believing. We getting it done. A new country we building. This country
Debe South, our standard bearer, Deodas Jagistar.
was thieving. They cannot tell me nothing. Red is how we rolling. It's PNM we voting. We doing it right.
For Bronte, Steve Rampasad.
Country, good for party. Team Rowley, we building legacy.
Our standard bearer for Palmy's Hermitage, John Curtis Young.
This is a nation of many races, different faces in many spaces.
Ladies and gentlemen, there are two people who are missing. The representative for Barrackpore West, Kato Hari Prasad, and the representative for Quinamon Diablo, Keith Brown. And with regard to Keith Brown, ladies and gentlemen, we understand that his mother sadly passed away today. We offer him and his family the condolences of all of us here and all of the PNM. Ladies and gentlemen, your standard bearers for San Fernando City Corporation and for Pinal Debe Regional Corporation. Winners, ladies and gentlemen, all of them winners.
We getting it done. A new country we building. This country first we choosing, and every day we proving. They only know my guy, we don't know they was thieving. They cannot tell me nothing. Red is how we rolling. It's PNM we voting. We doing it right.
You all ready? रतिया में दुल्हा के मौसी भूल गए करके पता करार सबसे बरबारे Stop the wine तोरे तगिनिया पहुंचे चले बता Everybody put your foot in the air रतिया में दुल्हा के मौसी भूल गए करके पता करार सबसे बरबारे Every single person, put your right hand in the air like this. Start a wine and son up your hand, son up your hand, son up your hand. Wave the flags them, wave it. Let me go. दुल्हा के मैया बजती चुनरिया मत मतार को जे जाके. Where you from? Grande. दुल्हा के मैया बजती चुनरिया मत कन मतार को जे जाके बजनिया गंगन के रस मिल गया.
What a wonderful event that is happening here. We have a stage alive of presentation of candidates, but of course, you know, I can't resist this one. We just saw San Fernando City Corporation, Pinal Debe Regional Corporation, two of the corporations that operate around my constituency, San Fernando West, and I just want to tell you, you heard Teresa Lynch talk about getting it done, and the unveiling of our projects in San Fernando, the waterfront, the car park, 231 homes at the Ministry of Works site, the PTSC relocation and thousands of homes, God willing, project there, the renovation of the wharf, the award of the NIDCO facility to do the fishing port, the road widening program in San Fernando, the introduction of roundabouts. We have articulated a plan for San Fernando as San Fernando has never had done. And it gives me such great pride to see such a wonderful crop of candidates. We have our deputy political leader, none other than Fitzgerald Ethelbert Hines with us, ladies and gentlemen. He, of course, can steal some of our San Fernando time in telling you about national issues. Let's hear about our deputy political leader's perspectives on the campaign.
Well, Barrett, you sound like you have everything in San Fernando West, but that is good. That is good. They have a very good representative, and we know together the thing is going to be perfectly fine.
Well, look at it. Let's talk Laventille West.
Yeah.
Let's talk about your unveiling of a project, a swimming pool.
Oh, yeah.
The powerful rediversion of the youth.
You will remember when we got the estimate for that, it was $21 million. As we do in all projects, we send them back, we worked it down, and we spent $4.5 million on that pool. And there's value in it for everyone. The Coast Guard and the Army personnel, the instructors, they had to be certified in accordance with the international world standards in order to be able to teach the children, and they underwent a teach the teachers course. So they benefited. The community benefited, the elderly, the young people, the schools.
You know what I love about your project, and as a champion for Laventille, we have talked about Laventille being left alone for years. We've talked about some aspects of crime and criminality, at the same time of the beauty of our scholarship winners, etc. But imagine the impact of taking the Coast Guard into the community, teaching children. We have the chance at Olympic medalists.
Oh yes, and actually the pool was built to international standards.
Precisely.
So swim in the pool will be competitive anywhere in the world.
And didn't that money come from the $1 billion that we saved this country in the OAS Constructura when my colleague Stuart Young, our enterprising energy at the AG's office, Stuart Young led that particular charge in making sure that we recovered $1 billion of bond money, and it's that money that went into our road construction, our Laventille community, our roads in San Fernando West, our roundabout in San Fernando West.
I tell you, we are in the process. We actually have the valuation on the lands being done now. The cabinet have already agreed. We have identified lands on the Eastern Main Road where we intend to put a massive multi-purpose community facility for the people of Laventille.
It's just like San Fernando's brilliance. As MP, together with the local corporation, imagine sitting down on 14 acres of prime land for a garage facility, derelict buses, no form of employment, and taking that and vesting it as we have done to the people to cause a development.
What makes this even more fantastic is like Brian Lara. He had a great cricketing record at the end of his career, but he was cheated out so much. Had he not been cheated out around the world so much, his record would have been much taller. We performed all the things you are describing, we are describing over the last 4 years.
For me, my focus as a San Fernandian, as the MP for San Fernando West, to say to the people of San Fernando, here is a project of 231 homes ready for green light. Here is the PTSC 14 acres of land to allow us to build our version of One Woodbrook Place. Here is our Skinner Park commencement, ground already broken, demolition already in gear, $190 million of San Fernando's turn at national development. We are a UNC government, 5 years and 3 months with absolutely nothing in San Fernando.
And all of that, as I was saying, all of that in very restrictive economic circumstances.
Correct.
That is what makes the performance so remarkable.
And it's from our savings, ladies and gentlemen. Local government is about bringing people closer to representation. And as we have that representation, we actually take ourselves to our candidates. What better opportunity to get back to stage side as we begin to think of the rest of the stage, to get the rest of the candidates known. Our stage is electrifying this evening, ladies and gentlemen. The crowd is wonderful. We're going to take you across the stage side right now as we pick up on the presentation of candidates. Over to you, stage side.
national movement. Let me bring on stage one of the candidates that will make the leader of the opposition cry on Monday night. The candidate from the Sandy Grande Regional Corporation, Mr. Rajkumar Bagilu.
Good for party, Team Rowley, we building legacy. So when you're voting, know that you're building a strong foundation for this great nation. PNM, 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 PNM. What good for Grandy? Good for country. Grandy, Grandy, what good for Grandy?
Look at PNM people! Look at PNM people! The Honorable Prime Minister of the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago, the Honorable Dr. Keith Christopher Rowley and Mrs. Sharon Rowley, all other government ministers, and all you PNM family. Ladies and gentlemen, the late Dr. Martin Luther King once said, the ultimate measure of a man is not where he stands in moments of comfort and convenience, but where he stands in moments of challenge and conflict. And our Prime Minister, Dr. Keith Christopher Rowley, has shown his ultimate measure as a man by taking Trinidad and Tobago from the economic abyss that was left by the UNC. Ladies and gentlemen, this country is now enjoying a measure of prosperity. And in 2020, it is expected that our economy will grow by 2%. And ladies and gentlemen, I want to tell you about our Prime Minister and the vision that he has. My opponent, the UNC candidate, he came for screening before the PNM screening committee. And when he was asked by the Prime Minister why he's offering himself as a candidate, he said all of them in UNC are thieves. He said they are such thieves. And the Prime Minister could not choose that man. So that is our Prime Minister is a man with great vision. And you know that man addressing a cottage meeting quite recently. And he wanted to say the word instigate. He ended up saying incitigate. So a little fella next to him, he said like he gonna look for Maxi. So ladies and gentlemen, I am saying that our Prime Minister is a man with great vision. And in 2015, our Prime Minister made a promise to the Northeast region that he is going to open up that region to greater prosperity. And in so doing, ladies and gentlemen, we now have the Kumuto to Manzanilla Highway, the Valencia to Toco Highway. We have a new hospital, a new licensing office. And ladies and gentlemen, all this is meant to bring greater prosperity to the people of Sangre Grande. So Grande, we head for our Prime Minister and the PNM government. And ladies and gentlemen, this government also recognizes the traffic chaos in Chaguanas. And this government has decided they are going to get rid of that chaos. And they have already started a ring road in the vicinity of the Wali Nagar. They have already started. And ladies and gentlemen, by 2020, 2021, 2022, this government is going to remove that traffic chaos by building a ring road and to ease that chaos for the people of Chaguanas.
And I want to show you, Mrs. Kamla Prasad Bisesa came up to Sangre Grande. I want to make a comparison with our candidates and her candidate. But I want to show you, there's no comparison. When these candidates from Sangre Grande come here, the PNM candidates, you are going to see the quality. Because listen, the candidate from Manzanilla, berating our chairman, Terry Rondon, and telling him, only listen, I want a little listen this, please. He telling Chairman Rondon, Chairman, I feel safe here. Because if we had to run out of here, it had no mustard point. Mustard point, he say. But it should be mustard point. So that is the quality of the candidates we have to face, ladies and gentlemen. But I want to tell you that this PNM government of Prime Minister Dr. Keith Christopher Rowley has chosen the best to serve you, the people of Trinidad. So ladies and gentlemen, when you go to the polls on Monday, 2nd December, make sure you vote PNM. Great is the PNM. Great is the PNM. Great is the PNM. And we shall always prevail.
What good for Grandy? Good for country. Grandy, Grandy. What good for Grandy? Good for country. Grandy, Grandy. What good for Grandy? Good for country. Team Rowley, the building.
You saw the quality of the candidates. Rajkumar Bagalu. Ladies and gentlemen, let us bring on the candidates that will represent us in the Chaguanas Borough Corporation. For Montrose, Leslie Ann Dillon.
Good for country. Grandy, Grandy. What good for Grandy? Good for country. Grandy.
Edinburgh, Londonville South, Janelle Jo Ryan.
Team Rowley, we
Enterprise North, Esmeralda, Lisa Holder.
Team Rowley, we building legacy. What good for Grandy? Good for country.
Enterprise South, Londonville North, the one and only Ronald Hira.
Team Rowley, we building legacy. What good for Grandy?
Conopia.
Good for country.
Nara Abdul Mohammed.
Legacy. What good for country? Good for Grandy. Team Rowley, we building legacy.
Monroe Road, Caroni Savannah, Kevin Phillip.
Team Rowley, we building legacy. What good for country? Good for
Charlieville, Chevron Lucas.
So when you're voting, know that you're building a strong foundation for this great nation.
And ladies and gentlemen, for the Sandy Grande Regional Corporation. We're good for Grande, good for country. 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 We're good for Grande, good for country.
Building legacy. What good for country?
Mr. Paul Mongolas, Sandy Grande Northeast.
Legacy. What good for Grandy? Good for country. Team Rowley, we building legacy. What good
Miss Elizabeth Warden, Sandy Grande Northwest.
We building legacy. What good for Grandy? Good for country. Team Rowley, we building legacy.
Miss Simone Gill, Valencia West.
Team Rowley, we building legacy. What good for Grandy? Good for country.
And I told you, Manzalena is safe with Nigel safe.
Rowley, we building legacy. So when you're voting, know that you're building.
For Vega Europuch, Ravi Lakan.
Good for Grandy, good for country. Grandy, Grandy. What good for Grandy? Good for country.
for Kumoto Tamana, the one and only Rajkumar Bagaloo.
Team Rowley, we building legacy. What good for country, good for Grandy. Team Rowley, we building legacy. What good for Grandy.
And ladies and gentlemen, let us make some noise for the veteran, the man who is considered the father of politics in the East, Mr. Martin Terry Rondon for Valencia East Soko.
Grandy, Grandy, what good for Grandy, good for country. Grandy, Grandy, what good for Grandy, good for country. Team Rowley, we building legacy. What good for country, good for Grandy. Team Rowley will build the economy. What good for Grandy, good for country. Team Rowley, we building legacy. What good for country, good for Grandy.
And ladies and gentlemen,
Rowley, we building legacy. What good for Grandy, good for country.
we have with us Mr. Neil Joseph Sandy Grandy South. Sandy Grandy South is going to mash up the place with Mr. Neil Joseph.
Ladies and gentlemen, would you please welcome Ola Tunji!
Oh yeah. All who thankful for the PNM. Thankful for the lives that you give to me. Thankful for the vibes and the energy. Thankful for the joy and the festival. We thankful for the magic in carnival. See we thankful when all of we want to jump in up on the every creed and every color. Say we thankful. And we grateful. Say we get up into the fire. We get to the fire. Lift up your voices higher. The Lord is great. How you appreciate. Now everybody give praise. The energy raise. He said that today. We're going today. For total synergy. We thankful for the love, peace and unity. We thankful for the trucks them escorting we. We thankful for the everybody. Thankful. Yeah. Thankful. Say we thankful. Say we thankful. And we grateful. Everybody know. We're saying hallelujah. Woo. One time. Thing right, and then I can see the thing right. Hey, I must have the bass and you know you're whining good. Shibalo, just give me some time now. She want me to down the wine now, but there's something feeling. And Shibalo, put your hand in the air right now, PNM. Tap down. Hey, Ola Tunji. Oh yeah.
Feeling like she from Africa.
Oh yeah.
From Africa.
What we sing on this song? I wanna see you. I know the bumper.
I'm in the closer to me.
I give you when you push back that thing hard.
And answer my fantasy.
Girl, your body looking good, and you put me in a mood. When you whine, you whine so good. Sing it to me now. Then she ball up, she grab on me finger, and then I give she the finger. He have a scrub the face, and you know you're whining good. She ball up, just give me some time now.
She want me to stop.
Everybody sing, everybody. And she ball. She ball.
She got me.
She ball. She said, hola, So you on the road yesterday, you redeem your waist up like Kulele, cause I must get that taste of your waist, mama, before I die. Just give me what you never give nobody, don't be shy. I know all of them who watching, they go far. Let me see the red card. I don't know about you. Oh, I don't in the band, me and a woman, I'm not chanting, no, nah. She dancing to a full song. I don't know about you. But when I'm on the road and I'm in the boat, you know I'm not so. I want to hear everybody sing it. Everybody! Yeah, yeah, yeah! Ooh, yeah! Yeah, 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 yeah! Oh, na, 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 ooh, yeah, 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 yeah! One more! Yeah, yeah, yeah! She got me here begging for more. Pump us off like butter cocoa. I'm right now, I walk up a school till she friends and they're balling, they want to cheat her. I ride her just like a motor. Rev it up, then I'm ready to go. I love how she roll and she forgot to move, but they waiting like a mosquito. I must get a taste of that waist, mama, before I die. Just give me where you never give nobody, don't be shy. I know all of them who watching, they go fly. When they talk, we go tell them, I don't know about you. But when I'm down in the band, me and a woman, I'm a champion. She dancing to a flow song. I don't know about you. But when I'm on the road and I'm in the road, you know I'm not so bad.
I love all you too much. Ooh, yeah, yeah, yeah. Thank you very much. Tado.
Big Red Rally, let's hear it one more time for Ola Tunji. And anybody here from the East-West corridor? Anybody from Arriba? Anybody from Sunwell Barataria? Anybody from Tunapuna? Big Red Rally. He is the General Secretary of the People's National Movement. Please welcome Senator Buster Cummings.
Well, let me tell you something. Forward is how we moving, so never stop believing. We getting it done. A new country we building. This country first we choose.
PNM Pussy! Look at people. What a sea of red. Let me introduce to you our very powerful candidate for the electoral district of Wallafield, La Hoqueta, a very young, bright, and promising candidate who will be our next councillor for Wallafield, La Hoqueta. Let us welcome to address us, Miss Kerry-Ann Roberts Kasmali.
Getting it done. Well, let me tell you something. Forward is how we moving, so never stop believing. We getting it done. A new country we building. This country first we choosing.
Make some noise! Wallafield, La Hoqueta, make some noise! I am honored to be a candidate for the electoral district of Wallafield, La Hoqueta in Tunapuna Piako Regional Corporation. Make some noise!
Well, let me tell you something. Forward is how we move.
Over the past 2 months, all of the candidates in Tunapuna Piako Regional, we have been walking, we have been talking to you, we have been listening to our Burgess, because we don't take any area for granted. We do not assume that you will vote us. We want to build confidence. We want on the 2nd of December, you will know as a fact, we are the right choice, the only choice, the PNM choice to fill Tunapuna Piako. Make some noise. And listen to this. You know what the other side did? They looked at Wallafield Farm on one side, La Hocketa, and they thought it was a ghetto. They didn't understand that we educate our young ones. They didn't understand that we give our young ones good values. They didn't understand the type of product that can come from Wallafield, La Hocketa. And you know what they did? They sent a recycle to you as an alternative. But come the 2nd of December, Tunapuna Piako Regional will be victorious. Every seat will go to the PNM. And I say this, Wallafield, La Hocketa likes ketchup. We don't deal with mustard. So on the second, ketchup, PNM all the way to Napuna Piako Regional Corporation. We only take in ketchup, the PNM, the only party to get things done, the only party who has given the young people who have seen us and give us an opportunity to deal. So on the second, don't take it for granted. Their tricks, their stick leave, their treachery, pulling down posters all over Tunapuna Piako. We're not taking it for granted. This is good. But I remind you on the second, every young person in the crowd, every elderly person, every middle-aged person, go and dip your hand for ketchup. Go and dip your hand for the PNM.
Hey, getting it done. Well, let me tell you something. Forward is how we moving, so never stop believing. We getting it done. And you country we building.
PNM Posse, are you ready? Are you ready? Well then, let us welcome our future councillors for the Arima Borough Corporation. Anybody here from Arima? For the electoral district of Malabar North, Lynette, Chappie, Ramcharan.
Well, let me tell you something. Forward is how we moving, so never stop believing.
Mr. Anthony Davis for Rima West O'Mara.
And every day we proving. We getting it done. They only
for the electoral district of Arima Northeast, Kendall Charles.
That's how we rolling. It's PNM we voting. We doing it.
The young and vibrant Janice Scott for Calvary.
One good for country, good for party. Team Rowley.
Let's cheer for Joycelyn Worrell in Malabar South.
Know that you're building a strong foundation for this great nation.
The sitting mayor, returning councillor for Arima Central, Lisa Morris Julian.
So when you're voting, know that you're building a strong foundation for this great
your councillor will be Brennan Patterson. Let's get for Arima Borough Corporation.
Here we come.
We move now to the Regional Corporation of Tunapuna Piako. Anybody here from Tunapuna? For Cleaver Dabadi, Judy Gardner.
Lies is what they're spreading. Every time we beat
them, Maloney, Stefan Watley.
PNM we voted, we doing it
in the area of Maracas, Santa Margarita, Corey Selvon.
In the fires of hope and prayer.
The very experienced Derek Laguerre in Carapo.
Cannot bear.
Kira Page, Renata Basol.
End of the rainbow.
For Five Rivers, Desiree De Bretas. Your candidate, your winning candidate for Val St. Joseph, Jemima Charles.
Yes, we're moving. Yes, we're moving.
In St. Augustine South, Candice Clark Small. La Florissant Lopino, Dwayne Mora. Blanchichelle Santa Rosa, Sheldon Moore. And let's hear it for the very energetic Carrie-Ann Roberts Kasmali for Wallafield, La Hocketa. The chairman of the corporation, returning councillor for Bonaire Aruka Cane Farm, Paul Leacock. In
Sequoia Trin City, Dizelle Austin. The man for the job in Cora Paradise, Tacarigua, Aaron Thomas.
Something forward, this how we moving, so never stop believing.
For Tunapuna, Travis Williams.
We building this country, first we choosing.
Let's hear it in Kelly Village, Warrenville, Claude Bell.
Guy and we don't know there was thief and they cannot tell me
Tunapuna, are you here? Anybody here from Tunapuna? Let's hear it for them. We move now.
One good for country.
Samoa Laventille Regional Corporation. In Samoa West. Returning, Jody Johnson.
Great nation. This is a nation of many races.
Samoa East, Raphael John.
When you're voting, know that you're building a strong foundation.
In Pittsburgh, Mount Lambert, Chaplet, Darren, Winchester.
And the change has begun. Yes, we're moving.
Small but powerful in Barataria to bring home the seat. Barataria to the PNM Kimberly Small.
It's big matching we doing, the right thing that we choosing. We getting it done.
In St. Anne's Cascade, Mount Report West, Sherwin Jones.
Respecting who we serving, life is what
the very experience in Febo, Bugmalatris, Eldon Coker.
And then we voted, we doing it right, we getting it done.
Coming into Mova to represent you, Junior St. Hilaire.
Together as one, there is no law.
Maracas Bay, Santa Cruz, La Pilette, Sodier, South Gramson. In Beaton, Picton, Akil Orden.
Tomorrow is come, and the change.
The man who has been around for some time, coming back to you in Caledonia, Upper Malik, Kwesi Antoine.
Getting it done.
In St. Bob's, Chinapu, Joy Benjamin. El Socorro, Aranguez North, Shahid Ali. In Aranguez, Warner Village, Ashmead Mohammed. And returning for a third time in success to Macaque, welcome Adana Griffith Gordon. Let us get to Tower, Laventille Regional Corporation, Tunapuna Piaco Regional Corporation, Arima Borough Council, Great is the PNM.
We getting it done. Getting it
Team
done.
Complex, please welcome Blacks.
Could I ask you to come a little closer, all you far? Or the other come and join in the bacchanal? Could I have help, please? Yeah. Never let your problems get you down. Step focus and hold your ground. Here we go. Because what don't kill you should make you stronger. So my problem is like steroids, boy. I get my doses from all kinds of sources, and all of them still can't kill me now. You see, I don't think me on the high school. I don't be strong and just like Cabo. So I talk about speed up, so I get up. They have to wonder how I don't get up. And if we don't, I see it, I see true. I'm ready to head up all the way. See you!
I feel like
move any mountain, trample any building, like hot. Man, but stop this one. Take a jump, no one. Trample them. Remember the knees, like step on the problems, then what we gonna do? Trample them. Keep up the problems. Trials and testings, does come before blessings, but we have to be patient, yeah. We've been holding in the night, but joy in the morning, but we never do endure.
Wow, what a fantastic afternoon this has been, or is being. The energy in this campaign, Camille, is like a general election.
It is.
Befitting of a 63-year-old party, isn't it?
It certainly is. And it shows the strength the resilience of the PNM. The PNM is rooted in Trinidad and Tobago.
63 years old.
63 years
And
old.
what is most attractive to me, there's a substantially greater number of young people, you know?
Notice that not only in the audience, Fitzgerald, but also our candidates in
Yes.
the main are
Yes.
young people. And let me make the point that a number of our candidates are also women. And that is very
And
significant.
very well certified and qualified.
That is so.
But I have noticed that we're not seeing the enemy at all. We're not seeing the mustard. We're only seeing ketchup and them trying to play ketchup. Yeah. This thing is nice.
They have been almost non-existent in this campaign.
Yeah.
But we must not take anything for granted.
No.
On December 2nd,
We go out there and we do the
people must go
business.
out and vote.
Yeah.
And you know, today has been a really good culmination of our campaign. Every night out of the hustling, and today is the culmination, and I think we've done well.
I mean, this is reminiscent of World Cup. I mean, the stadium, the Jean Beck complex is packed with PNM people. A sea of red excitement like crazy in the place. Great is the PNM, eh?
Prevail. And I must make the point to you, Fitzgerald, that I think we have done a good job in getting our point over, that we of the PNM are getting it done to the people of Trinidad and Tobago.
I have been in this thing for 25 years and I have seen many a campaign. This campaign is a high energy one. We have actually dominated the space. We have matched out the opposition.
It is clear that this is a well-structured campaign befitting a well-structured party.
Most of all, night after night, when we had our national meetings and all of these hundreds of local meetings around the place, we were able to share the great work that we had been doing with the people. And in particular from our national platform, the feedback we're getting is that the public have now come to understand the philosophy, the aim, the vision for the new society of our leader and where we are heading and why this country is in better and safer hands with the People's National
I
Movement.
agree with you, Fitzgerald.
And the development is ongoing.
The development is clear. And the development has taken place not only on the ground, but with the people of Trinidad.
I want to compliment you all in the Ministry of Planning, man. All of those projects, all of those heritage projects. Anyway, we're heading back onto the stage now, and we will continue to talk about this. But great work in times of restriction, but we have been doing a great job. And the people understand that. Great is the PNM.
And we shall prevail.
Would you please welcome the chairman of the People's National Movement, the Honorable Colum Imbert.
Getting it done. Well, let me tell you something. Forward is how we moving, so never stop believing.
How you feeling? You feeling good? All right. Now we're going to have an outstanding young candidate. Our candidate for Belmont South will speak to you on behalf of the candidates for the Diego Martin Regional Corporation and the Port of Spain City Corporation. Her name is Abba Kamau, and she's a daughter of Belmont. She's a student currently pursuing her PhD in public health. You see what kind of candidates we have? Abba Kamau.
Getting it done. Well, let me tell you something. Forward is how we moving, so never stop believing. We getting it done. And you country.
Port of Spain massive! Political leader and Prime Minister of this great republic, Dr. the Honorable Heath Christopher Rowley, and his beautiful wife, our First Lady, Mrs. Rowley, members of Cabinet, Excellencies, specially invited guests, my fellow local government candidates, the people, you, the people in the People's National Movement, PNM family, good evening. And And again I say, Port of Spain Massive! Good evening! PNM family, the wheels of progress has been turning. The wind of change, the shift, the pivot we all are so longing for is on the horizon. That fresh wind, that wind of change, the progress train is local government reform. And let it be known to all and sundry that would have you believe that nothing is happening and the local government is not working. But your People's National Movement government will be delivering reform. Yes, performance beats soul talk. This is how your PNM government will be getting it done for you. The following are just some of the projects and initiatives that your local government, in collaboration with its stakeholder agencies, have been getting done for you. Well, I'm a Port of Spain candidate, so I had to big up our Port of Spain Corporation. The Latrine Eradication Program. This program is ongoing and will continue until every member of the community has appropriate indoor plumbing and can experience the dignity of life befitting every citizen of the Republic. This is your PNM local government getting it done for you. Disaster management response has now been localized to each municipal corporation. What does that mean for you? What does that mean for me? After all, your local government and your corporation, your first responders, when something happens in your community, they are there to respond to you, providing you with the resources and all that you need, disseminating all of the resources, regularly scheduled garbage collection. You know when your garbage is being picked up in Port of Spain, right? Distribution of water tanks continue, and the PNM Corporation will continue to distribute water tanks to those who need it the most, especially in light of the harsh dry season that has been forecasted ahead. Let me bring it home now. Upper Bella Road, Belmont. There was a massive flood that took place in September. And it was our Port of Spain Corporation who always leads the charge that was there moments after cleaning debris, washing down your roads. A lie? That is so because it's your PNM government, your local government working for you, getting it done. Port of Spain Corporation has also led the charge in giving preference to working with all small local contractors, businesses right within our community. These contractors from within the community in turn employ persons in this said community. This ensures that there is equitable and proportional distribution of resources and wealth within our developing communities. And these are just some of the great initiatives that are taking place that I have highlighted. So we are excited and motivated at the prospects of our future. We look forward with great anticipation to local government reform because we know that it will only serve to further strengthen the efficiency of your delivery of goods. This is your local government getting it done. So we look forward to serving you as full-time council, no longer part-time, because we know that the business of the people is a full-time job. We look forward to greater autonomy and executive powers within the council. which will give us the ability to effectively treat with the implementation and execution of policies translated into practice, performance in real time. This is your government working for you. We look forward to the ability to not only collect and retain our revenue through property taxes and other means, but also the power to administrate over those finances. To, as they say, mind we own business and we own corporation in our communities. Ladies and gentlemen, PNM family, don't believe the lies. Don't believe the detractors. Stay the course. On December 2nd, we have a job to get done. Wake up early. Say your prayers. And as somebody say, but God and your thoughts too. Take yourself and your whole family. Make your neighbors. Wake them and go with them too. Make your voting fingers your broom. And with every X placed by the Balize, we are going to sweep. What we're going to do? Sweep. Yes, sweep every dirty UNC and UNC undercover out of this tongue. Because as my girl Esther Sylvester say, the city of Port of Spain is not up for grabs. On that night of December 2nd, we will answer Mrs. Kamla Basad-Bissessar. Who cares? The PNM cares. We care. We care about good governance. We care about integrity in public life. We care about not just getting the job done, but getting the job done right. And that is why, on that great night, we shall say, great is the PNM, great is the PNM, great is the PNM, and we shall prevail.
Hey, getting it done. Well, let me tell you something. Forward is how we moving, so never stop believing.
Thank you, Abba.
A new country we building.
And now it's my privilege to announce our 22 winning candidates for Diego Martin and Port of Spain. In 2010, we allowed a few outsiders into Diego Martin and Port of Spain. We got rid of them in 2013. We wiped them out in 2016. And 2019 is no exception. So here are your 10 winning candidates for Diego Martin. For Mocha Bossia number 2, the returning councillor, your candidate, and your new councillor, Andy Felician.
Hey, getting it done. Well, let me tell you something.
For St. Lucian Cameron Hill, your returning councillor, Catherine Mendez.
Country we building, this country first we choosing, and every
for Pity Valley Cocorite, your returning councillor, Marcia Maslin.
They cannot tell me nothing.
For Chagarama's Point Kumana, your returning councillor, Akila Glasgow.
We getting it done. Good for country, good for
for Glencoe Goodwood La Puerta, Amber Keynes, your new councillor.
Know that you're building a strong foundation
for Covine Rich Plain, your new councillor, Avenel Boyce.
Different faces in many spaces.
For Diamond Vale, your new councillor, Keita James.
A strong foundation for this great nation.
For Bellevue Bossia number 1, your new councillor, Wendell Jeffrey.
Yes, we moving. Yes, we moving.
For Bagatelle Blue Basin, your new councillor, Alina Wren.
So let me tell you one thing, it's big bad thing we
last
doing.
but not least, your returning councillor for Moncoko Alice Glen, Simon De Nobrega. And there you are, our 10 Diego Martin candidates.
Respecting who we serving, lies is what they spreading.
And they said, wise men came from the east, but they ended up in the west. So I speak on behalf of the west. Let's now go to the cream of the crop, your capital city, Port of Spain, for East Dry River, Clint Batiste.
Country we building, this country first we choosing, and every day.
For Woodbrook, your returning councillor, June Durham. For St. James East, the experienced Jamil
We doing it
Bismarck.
right, we doing it right, we getting it done. Good for country, good for party.
For St. Anne's River Central, Esther Sylvester. Port St. Anne's River South, Janelle Frederick. For Southern Port of Spain, Dennis Frisdal.
Know that you're building a strong
For
foundation.
Belmont East, your returning councillor, Nicole Young.
And the change has begun.
For St. Anne's River North, the experienced Helen Moraine.
Getting it done.
For Belmont South, you just heard her, your new councillor, Abba Kamau.
Society we shaking, big up us away the well.
Belmont North and West, Baloya Bond.
Respecting who we serving, lies is what they spreading.
St. James West, your new councillor, Camille McDougall. There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. 22 winners. I'm so sorry, Northern Port of Spain, Abina Hartley returning for yet another time. And there you have the 22 now.
Bringing to the stage, Swapping!
Welcome back, camera side. I've got with me Joel Jack. He is none other than the man himself with financial responsibility for Tobago House of Assembly. Welcome to PNM Land, PNM Television.
Thank you so much, Paris. And it's a sea of red here in Port of Spain ahead of the local government elections. And I think PNM family, we're doing it well and getting it done.
You know what's interesting? To have Tobago here while we talk local government reform. We are pitching and the UNC is blocking a whole vision for Trinidad to join Tobago. And that vision is the THA model. Who better a person than to speak to the bona fides of that? The need to put the people closer to the representatives. Tell us a bit about your thoughts about our local reform.
Well, let me say that adopting the House of Assembly model, I think, is important. You heard the last speaker alluding to it. And the fact, what she said, that we are being hindered or blocked in Trinidad because we don't have the support from the opposition. And it's a similar problem in Tobago. And I want all of Trinidad and Tobago to appreciate the need for us to adopt the THA model in Trinidad and for the Tobago House of Assembly to have greater autonomy. And that could only happen with the assistance, with the 3/5 majority support of the opposition. And it's important because you have greater devolution of powers. The Buddhists will be responsible.
Speak about the powers. I want to remind Trinidad and Tobago, local government reform works if you have money. Money comes from the collection of taxes.
That's right.
Revenue coming from property tax at a minuscule level. More people paying less together equals reform. The only entity standing between local government success and Trinidad and Tobago watching itself never develop is the UNC. They have gone to court and they lost 3 times on the local government revenue management side to property taxes. And I'd just like to remember, I'd like to remind you, we are talking issues on Monday. They would like to fool you and tell you this is about party politics and red versus yellow. It's not that. We're talking about making sure overgrown lots are cut.
That's right.
We're talking about school repairs. We're talking about potholes and drains. How do you do that without revenue?
That's right. And property taxes are important. I remember when Honorable Minister of Finance Collingwood came into power, we agreed that the finances from the Burgesses would stay within the respective boroughs, and in a Tobago context that we will retain the property tax, assist us in funding capital expenditure and to give it other important work on the island, and we don't have the support.
And that's why Tobago, at least from our perspective,
that's right.
Tobago with its model looks better than Trinidad.
It's a successful model, and if the wheel isn't broken, don't fix it, but you replicate it. And we have seen the success of the Assembly over the past years. From 1980 to now. And
let's talk a bit about that in the context of Port of Spain.
That's right.
You've got someone named Louis Leasing. He is actually quite interestingly running only in Port of Spain. Mr. Leasing, somebody I know, I have like for, his sole introduction is former mayor of Port of Spain. But on the issue bandwagon, I have not heard any change in how it's going to get done. When you look at your choices in Port of Spain, what are you going to do? Go with a party like the PNM that says, here's how we reform, here's where the money comes from, here's how we'll spend it, here's how we'll be accountable?
Right.
Or do you go for someone who just says, give me a chance? You see, choice in a local government election has to be delivered in the context of performance. What better way to go than to bring it back to stage, where we get the personalities to come forward. We want to flip across the stage side as we continue with the preparation of candidates and more particularly our political leaders' speech. Over to stage side, catch you on the other end.
Great is the PNM. So great is the PNM. And we will always prevail. PNM. PNM. Start the jump. Yeah. This one is for the nation, for the children. Yeah. Everybody start to sing. No. We're getting it done in the fires of hope and prayer. Sing. Together as one, there is no load we cannot bear. Start the jump now. And I see the light at the end of the rainbow. And I see the bright blue skies. Tomorrow has come and the change has begun. Yes, we're moving. Yes, we're moving. Here we come. We're getting it done. Well, let me tell you something. Forward is how we moving. So never stop believing. And the country we building. This country must be choosing. And every day we proving. They only mama dying. We don't know they were thieving. They cannot tell me nothing. Right, this how we rolling. It's PNM we voting. We're doing it right. We're doing it right. Listen. We're getting it done. What good for country? Good for party. Team Rowley, we're building legacy. So when you're voting, know that you're begun in the fires of hope. Hands in the air, come on everybody! Together as one, there is no load we can. Voices now, start to sing! 'Cause I see the light at the end of the rainbow. What for the PNM? I see the bright. Is anybody here from the PNM? Put your hands in the air, say, tomorrow's coming. Oh, na na na. Hey, we're moving. Everybody, hands in the air, start to wave. Everybody go. Say hey, hey, for the PNM. Hey, hey, for the PNM. Hey, hey, for the PNM. Hey, hey, everybody, hands in the air, rocks in the air, flags in the air, rocks in the air. One, you're waving. Two, you're waving. One, two, well everybody wave now. Wave, wave, wave your bodies there. Wave, wave, wave your bodies there. PNM people, I just want you to say one thing with me. Repeat after me. Everybody, say great is the PNM. Great is the PNM. Say great is the PNM. And we will always prevail. Thank you very much. Love you.
One more time, GPA Complex. One more time, Big Red Rally. Great is the. Thank you very much to Peter C. Lewis.
Big Red Rally, how are you feeling? I want you to lift your energy because we're coming to the point where the air is rare. To introduce our political leader, would you please welcome our party chairman, the Minister of Finance, the Honorable Colum Imbert. GPA Complex, make some noise.
Thank you, Laurel. PNM people, what can we say about our political leader, Dr. Keith Christopher Rowley? Let me give you a little background. He was born in Mason Hall in Tobago. He did his secondary schooling at Bishop's High School, where he went on to capture the prestigious Bowles Scholarship. He then went to study at the University of the West Indies, where he graduated with a BSc in Geology, first class honors, Geography, first class honors, master's degree in volcanic stratigraphy, and a doctorate in geology specializing in volcanology. That is your political leader, and that is just his academic qualification. He was also head of the seismic research unit at the University of the West Indies before moving on to contest the general election in 1991. He also has corporate experience, having been the general manager of National Quarries Company Limited. He's the only member of parliament who has the distinction of contesting seats both in Tobago and in Trinidad. He ran for political office first in 1981, contesting the Tobago West seat, losing by a very narrow margin. He then moved to Diego Martin West, where he has won 8 general elections from 1991 to 2015. He first served in Parliament as an opposition senator in 1987. He has served as a cabinet minister, Minister of Agriculture, Lands and Marine Resources, Minister of Planning and Development, Minister of Trade and Industry. And following the PNM's defeat in 2010, the illustrious Dr. Rowley was elected leader of the opposition and our political leader. He then led us to victory in the 2015 general election. But prior to that, he led us to victory in the 2013 local government election where he wiped out the UNC. He then led us to victory again in the 2016 local government election. And he will be our leader as we wipe out the UNC on Monday in the 2019 general local government election. Let me welcome to the podium our distinguished political leader, Dr. Keith Christopher Rowley. Dr. the Honorable.
Everybody get on board with Franklin Farish and Ashton Ford. Colin Martin, Imbert and Donna Cox. Joe Newell, Penny and Hines with the dreadlocks. We coming. PNM. Thief and corruption and too much bubble. She feels she could run this country only on alcohol. Flam here, flam she they flying in helicopter while they empty the treasury and we poor people suffer.
Tell you something, forward is how we moving, so never stop believing. We getting it done. A new country we building, this country first we choosing, and every day we proving. We getting it done. They only mama guy and we don't know they was thieving. They cannot tell we nothing. Red is how we rolling. It's PNM we voting. We doing it.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Chair ladies of the evening, party chairman, Mr. Colin Imbert, deputy political leaders, Mr. Joe Newell Williams, Mr. Senator Rohan Singleton, Mr. Kelvin Charles, Mr. Fitzgerald Hines, Party General Secretary, Mr. Foster Cummings, Lady Vice Chairman, Mrs. Camille Robinson Regis, other party officers, members of the PNM, home and abroad, following this rally where we are winding up our 2019 local government campaign. Children, all, this is a very special occasion, and my assignment this evening is a very short one. Today is the first day since 2016 that you do not have local government members in office. And you know why? On Friday, the local government bodies came to an end. Friday was the last day of those who were elected in 2016. Their 3-year term came to an end. And therefore only the chairman remains in place in each of the 14 corporations. So Friday was the end of the corporation. Chairman alone in place Saturday and Sunday. And on Monday morning, you, the people of Trinidad, each and every one of you, you have the opportunity to go out and re-elect a new council. That has never happened in Trinidad and Tobago before. We've had very many instances of rolling over of councils, postponing of elections, election day a long way from the end of the corporation, with a chairman in office, all kinds of accusations about chairman doing this and chairman doing that, and minister doing this and minister doing that. On Monday morning, none of that will happen, because by Monday night, we would know who the new councillors are in every corporation. So when we say we're doing it right and we're getting it done, this is the most outstanding example of doing it right and getting it done without fear, without favor, and with boundless faith in our destiny. As I say that, I know that there are a number of citizens who view local government as an area of activity in which they should not participate. I simply want to say to every citizen who is qualified to vote that if you take the position that you are not going to participate at the polls, I hope that you are taking the position that you will be very satisfied with what the others who went to the polls chose for you. Those who go to the polls will choose for all of us, and that will be the end of the exercise. So by about midnight on Monday night, every corporation in Trinidad, the voters would have selected, and we will proceed now to install those corporations. And I have every confidence that as you've done before, and as you will do more of on this occasion, you will vote resoundingly for the People's National Movement. You look at our candidates today, and they did in fact make a very pleasant sight. And they did hold out for us, as they always do from a PNM platform, the hope for better things in this country. This is a country where when we go to the United Nations, one of the big assignments that they have been hammering away on all the time and giving you a deadline down the road as to when it should happen in what year in the future. One of those things they tell you is about equal involvement in women in your country. And I could tell you that Trinidad and Tobago is able to demonstrate to every other country in the world the fullest participation of women in the nation of Trinidad and Tobago. When we selected our candidates, we did so on the basis of having all interested persons who are willing to serve at local government to offer themselves. And our screening committee is not the political leader and two of his friends. It's a fixed number of party officers as per the party constitution. And we were able to screen our candidates, and we selected the best persons who had come forward to do the job. And tonight I can tell you, if you have not observed it, in this country where the highest office holder is a woman, the Speaker of the Parliament is a woman, the President of the Senate is a woman, and a large chunk of the cabinet are women. And if you look on the PNM platform tonight, you would have seen that the vast majority of our candidates for local government in 2019 are women. And you would also have seen, ladies and gentlemen, that most of them were young people. That tells us that our future is in good hands. When we make a call to our young people, having at the central government level, at the level of parenting in the country, preparing our young people, and we see them come forward in the way they have come forward on this PNM stage tonight to take responsibility for local government, we know that our future is in good hands. Ladies and gentlemen, every candidate you saw here tonight was screened, examined, and we are satisfied that we are offering you the best. On Monday, another milestone, another occasion, when there is an election in this country, on this occasion in Trinidad. Tobago's turn will come later on in the THA election. But we are here for the Trinidad local government election. There are 139 seats. And once again, in every single seat, in every part of Trinidad, there is a PNM candidate. So I want to say to a voter, wherever you are in Trinidad on Monday, there is a PNM candidate in which you can feel proud, you can feel confident, you can have trust to go to the polling station and put your X next to the balize. Every X goes in one by one. And after you put your X next to the balize, person by person, voter by voter, then we count them and determine who would have got the most votes and who will run the various corporations. So today, I want to thank all of the organizers at the national level of the PNM, from the campaign manager, Senator Rohan Cinnamon, and his team, our PR team, and all our various leaders out there in Trinidad, in the southwest, in the southeast, in central, in the northeast, in the east-west corridor, and in the west, down as far as my own constituency in Diego Martin West. You have done a wonderful job in organizing this campaign. Those of you who are here tonight, I know most of you have been taking part in the election campaign in your district, and I want to thank you for that. You have given support to our candidates. You have stood by our party, and you stand for what our party stands for. So tonight, all I have to say to you is thank you, but the job is not done yet. No seat has ever been won outside of a polling station. The job is not going to be done until on Monday you make those last few steps. You spend those last few hours and you bring the voters to the polling station. Monday is the most important day of the campaign. And that is when all your good work will bear fruit. So go home tonight safely. After you party and relax here in this well-deserved evening of fun and frolic, get home safely. Get a nice, probably a cold shower. Get tomorrow as part of your day, when those of you who are working in polling stations or have special assignments, make sure that you turn up for those assignments and get ready for the dawn on Monday. And get your voting done early. We are still in the rainy season. The weather could change by midday. We can have very heavy showers in the afternoon. So get the voting done in the morning. And even if it rains in the afternoon, get the rest of the voters out in the afternoon. I want to thank all of you, this red team, this PNM that is available to the entire nation, that once again we are offering ourselves for service. So to all our candidates who were selected, I want to say to you, congratulations for offering yourself for service to the people of Trinidad and Tobago. To all those who are returning, thanks for coming again. And to all the new ones, I say to you, you are embarking upon a journey which is honorable, and that journey is called public service. So as you go home tonight, as you come out on Monday, we work towards an opportunity to demonstrate once again that this PNM is the premier political party in the Caribbean, and in Trinidad we are a national institution in the political arena. We are the people's national movement. Today you would have seen people of all races, of all creeds, of all colors, coming from every corner of the country, because we are the big tent in this country in which every creed and race finds an equal place. Everyone is welcome as long as you are prepared to be a patriot and a citizen of Trinidad and Tobago. You're welcome in this party as long as you are prepared to support what is good and what is right as written in our fundamental documents. And today, when I see so many young people in this rally, I know that the future of this party, as the future of our country, is in good hands. So once again, I thank you. I thank you. As you get the work done on Monday, we are going to say on Monday night, from Sangre Grande to Carenage, from Port of Spain to San Fernando, from Sijas to Icacos, from Mayaro to Conupia, from all the way in Matlat right into Barataria. We are going to say, great is the PNM. Great is the PNM. Great is the PNM. And we shall
doing it right. We're doing it right. We getting it done. One good for country, good for party. Team Rowley, we're building legacy. So when you're voting, know that you're building a strong foundation for this great nation. This is a nation of many races, different faces in many spaces. So when you're voting, know that you're building a strong foundation for this great nation. Tomorrow has come and the change has begun. Yes, we're moving. Yes, we're moving. Here we come. Hey, get
getting it done. So let me tell you one thing, it's big man thing we doing, the right thing that we choosing. We getting it done. Society we shaking, we go bust away the welding. It's up and up we going. We getting it done. Respecting who we serving, lies is what they're spreading. Every time we beat them, this country that we choosing. That is how we rolling. PNM we voting, we doing it right. We getting it done. We PNM.
And we ask all of our candidates to please come back so that we can do the candidates' oath.
We, the People's National Movement's candidates, hereby pledge to give dedicated and conscious service to all the people of our electoral districts without any fear of discrimination. We further pledge to commit ourselves to contribute diligently to the improvement of the quality of life of all the citizens of Trinidad and Tobago. We do so humbly acknowledging the source of our wisdom and our strength. May God bless our nation.
Big Red Rally, would you please welcome Peter C. Lewis?
We ready, we ready, we ready.
Yeah. Boy. Hey, we getting it done. We getting it done.
Yeah. This one is for the nation,
For the children. Yeah. Say, we getting it done in the fires of hope and prayer. Hey, together as one, there is no load we cannot bear. Put your hands in the air, oh night. I see the light, I see the PNM light now. I see the light, I see the bright blue sky. Tomorrow coming, and the changes we can't forget. PNM people, everybody know. Put your hands in the air, say we getting it done. And let me tell you one thing, that's what we doing. Believing, we getting it done. We building this country, what we choosing, and every day we proving. Hey, they only mama guying, we don't know they were thieving. Can't just tell me nothing. Red is how we roll it. It's PNM we force it. We doing it right. We doing it right. Hey, what good for country, good for party. Team Rowley, we're building legacy. So when you're voting, know that you're building a strong foundation. Everybody know this is a nation of many races, different faces in many spaces. So when you're voting, know that you're building a strong foundation. Everybody say, tomorrow coming, and the changes we got for yes. Yes, we moving, yes, we moving. Put your hands in the air, everybody say. I think we do it, the right thing that we choosing. Shake it, we gon' bust away the wedding. We getting it done. Every time we beat them, this country first we choosing.
the fires of hope and prayer. Say, together as one, there is no load we cannot bear. And I see the light at the end. I see the PNM light. I see the light. I see the PNM light. Everybody say, tomorrow coming, and the change has begun. Hey, anybody from the PNM? Everybody, put your hands in the air. Let we go. Shall we get in this? Say, hey, hey, for the PNM. Hey, hey, for the PNM. Hey, hey, for the PNM. Hey, hey. A-team, take below. A-team, take below. Low. Dancers, I want to tell you, thanks very much. But you see, on Monday, it's all about them people in the back there. So I want all the candidates, make space for all the candidates to come down and make a parade. Because these are the people you're going and vote for on Monday. Is anybody voted for the PNM? PNM people, come down. Say great is the PNM. Say great is the PNM. Say great is the PNM. One night, look. We getting it done in the fires of hope and prayer. Listen, together as one, there is no load we cannot bear. Sing, and I see the light at the end of the rain. Vote for the PNM. I see the bright blue skies. Is anybody here from the PNM? Tomorrow coming, Monday coming. Who you voting for? If you voted for PNM, put your hands in the air. Let me go. Everybody start to jump. Say we getting it done. Say hey, hey, for the PNM. Hey, hey, for the PNM. Hey, hey, for the PNM. Oh, na, na, na. Oh, na, na, na. Say hey, hey, for the PNM. Hey, hey, for the PNM. Oh, na, 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 na. Long it, long it. Is anybody here from the PNM? I can't hear you. Is anybody here from the PNM? One more time. Say great is the PNM. Say great is the PNM. One, you're jumping. Two, you're jumping. One, two. Well, everybody jump now. Say hey, hey. Where's your body's at? Hey, hey. Where's your body's at? Hey, hey. Low, one more time, low. I want to see everybody put their right hands in the air. And show me a voting finger. Show me a voting finger. And wave your voting finger left to right. Because you see Monday, who you voting for on Monday? Who you voting for on Monday? Who you voting for on Monday?
We are the big tent where every creed and race finds an equal place. Vote PNM.
What a grand finale. We started this thing on the 10th of this month. We campaigned all the way through. What a grand and great finale. We have asked the people to come out and vote on December the 2nd. That is the key. And we also do so in the context of a new vision for the society, local government reform. And every one of our 136 candidates understand that. And this is the philosophy we move on. Great is the PNM.
Vote on issues. Vote against crime. Vote for development. Vote for local government reform. Vote for stability and new vision in our society. Don't accept the mantra of we don't care. This country must care. This party cares. The PNM cares. We've had a rough road. We've marshaled our troops. We've done it with dignity. And on Monday morning, we need to put God in our thoughts, in our prayers, and get it done.
You forgot the decriminalization of marijuana.
Happening as well. Every last bit of it.
Hey, great is the PNM.
Great
well
is
done,
the
well
PNM.
done. Great
And to
day,
my brother
great
and
day.
to folks, enjoy this evening.
Thank you.
team standing by to play the